and welcome to the Veggie Kitchen. I'm your host Ed. We're coming to you from Orange County, California. Today's soup's on. I'm making a butternut squash with roasted red bell pepper soup. Stay tuned, VeggieKitchen.org. The fall weather's here. It's a perfect time to make soup. And in the fall, the squashes are in abundance in the store. There's a whole variety of them, but I chose to use a butternut squash. I bought one about medium size. It's about 2+ pounds. What I did was I cut off the bottom and the top so that I could stand it up. And then, taking the knife, sharp knife, I just simply ran it down the outside to take off the outside peel. Worked my way around, finished it up with the vegetable peeler, cut it in half, seeded it, and made some strips, and then cut those strips into the cubes. A squash this size gave me about 6 cups diced. That's what we're going to use for the base of the soup. Roasted red bell pepper. I took a bell pepper. We did an episode with roasted red bell peppers. I just cut them into quarters, laid them skin side up on a bake pan, put them in the oven on the broiler for about 10 minutes. They come out nice and black like this. And then this skin simply comes off. Just cut it off with a knife. And I ended up with bell pepper strips. The last vegetable to go into the soup is a leek. Took a leek, look at this. This is great. I took the bottom part of the leek, the white and the lighter green part, just simply diced it up. Ended up with about 2 cups. So these are the base vegetables for the soup. We're going to come back in a moment and start putting it together, okay? See you soon, VeggieKitchen.org. So I've got all the vegetables prepared for the soup. I've got some oil in the pot. The soup pot's heating up. It's just a matter of now adding the vegetables, starting with the leeks, the roasted red bell pepper, and then the squash. For my spices, the spices, you gotta have some zip, right? For the spices, I'm going to be using a little bit of coriander, ground coriander, and some curry powder, give it a little bit of bite, a little bit of tarragon, and of course some salt and pepper. So there's a couple stages to the soup. The first part was obviously preparing the vegetables, and then now we're going to allow the vegetables to saute. Add the spices. This will take about 15 minutes or so to saute. Wrong one. Salt and pepper. It'll take about 15 minutes for this to saute up. We want to get the squash a little bit soft. And then we're going to add some water. I'm adding 6 cups of water. Bring it up to a boil. Let it simmer. Cover with a lid. Let it go for about 30 minutes. Then we should have the soup ready for the final stage, which is the blending. When the soup's all done, it's going to be a pureed soup. Creamy, beautiful, orange golden color. So I'm going to let it saute up. I'll add the water. As I said, bring it to a boil, let it simmer, cover it up, let it do its thing. We'll be back and check on it. The soup is done, the vegetables are nice and tender, and we're now ready to start the last step, which is the blending. I have a hand blender. If you don't have a hand blender, you could use a traditional blender. Just let the soup cool a little bit before you put it in your blender. Then you can blend it, put it back in your pot to reheat before you serve. But for me, I have this. Just making a nice puree out of the soup. Nice creamy, really creamy. There's no dairy in the soup at all, but it came out very creamy. You'll see when you make it at home. That'll do. Okay. And a bowl. Really delicious. Look at that. See it? Creamy. A really rich color and flavor. The curry, the coriander. Just give it a nice flavor. And while the soup was cooking, I went ahead and made some toasted pumpkin seeds. Some toasted tamari pumpkin seeds. Tamari is a soy sauce. You could use a traditional soy sauce, it wouldn't matter. I simply toasted the pumpkin seeds dry in the pan, and after they started to pop, they were done. I put in a splash of the tamari to coat them, to give them a little bit of flavor. And we're going to use the pumpkin seeds as a garnish on the soup. And you can do the same thing. This is it. Butternut squash soup with roasted red bell peppers and tamari pumpkin seeds. The recipe will be on the site. It's delicious. You got to try it. We thank you for watching. We'll see you back here next time. VeggieKitchen.org.